Alright y'all, we're in NFL Week 6, and it's time to lock in the picks. If you enjoy these breakdowns, make sure you subscribe, drop a like, and leave a comment below with your favorite plays of the week. Let's get straight into it. Denver Broncos versus New York Jets. Team comparison. The 3-2 Denver Broncos face the winless New York Jets in London. Denver's defense has been elite, allowing under 17 points per game and leading the NFL with 21 sacks. Meanwhile, the Jets can't protect their quarterback. Justin Fields has struggled badly under pressure, and their offense has been one of the least productive in the league. This one looks like another tough outing for New York. Spread, Broncos -6.5. The spread is Denver -6.5. The Broncos are the more complete team and should handle the Jets with ease. I'm going Broncos -6.5 to cover comfortably. Total, over 43.5. Both teams have been involved in higher scoring matchups, and the Jets have topped 20 points in nearly every game this season, with offensive rhythm improving on both sides. Moneyline, Denver. Denver is clearly the better team here. The Jets are still searching for their first win, and I don't think they'll get it against Denver. Player prop suggestions. Justin Fields, over 36.5 rushing yards. Fields has surpassed this mark in 3 of 4 games, rushing for 48 or more yards multiple times. Facing Denver's relentless pass rush, expect him to scramble often. Evan Engram, over 22.5 receiving yards. Engram has turned 13 targets into 8 catches for 62 yards over the last 2 weeks. Jets coverage has allowed tight ends to reach 27 plus yards in 4 of 5 games this season. He's a steady target in the offense. Arizona Cardinals versus Indianapolis Colts. Team comparison. The 2-3 Arizona Cardinals visit the 4-1 Indianapolis Colts after blowing a big lead last week. Arizona's defense ranks 22nd in yards allowed and 28th against the pass, which is not good news when facing one of the league's top passing attacks. Indianapolis quarterback Daniel Jones has been efficient, leading an offense that scored 17 touchdowns with just 3 turnovers in 5 games. Meanwhile, the Cardinals have lost 3 straight and continue to struggle with consistency on both sides of the ball. Spread, Colts -5.5. The Colts have averaged nearly 38 points against weaker defenses and just dominated the Raiders 40-6. With Arizona's defensive issues, total over 47.5. The Colts have the firepower to score big, and even if the Cardinals only manage a couple of drives, that should still push the game over 47.5. Indianapolis could do most of the scoring themselves here. Moneyline, Colts. Arizona has dropped 3 in a row, and Indianapolis has been one of the most consistent teams at home this season. The Colts should take this one comfortably. Player prop suggestions. Marvin Harrison Jr., over 51.5 receiving yards. Harrison had 98 yards in his last game, and his target share keeps growing. At 51.5 receiving yards, coming a steady option in Arizona's offense even when the team struggles. Jonathan Taylor, over 15.5 receiving yards. Taylor has gone over this mark in nearly every game this season. He's been active in the passing game with 20 receiving yards in back-to-back weeks, so over 15.5 receiving yards is a confident pick. Los Angeles Chargers versus Miami Dolphins. Team comparison. The Los Angeles Chargers 3-2 head to Miami to face the Dolphins 1-4 at Hard Rock Stadium. The Chargers are coming off a tough loss but have looked strong offensively behind Justin Herbert and veteran wideout Keenan Allen. Miami, on the other hand, continues to struggle defensively, ranking around the middle of the league in passing yards allowed, and will be without key players. Spread, Chargers -5.5. Los Angeles has been more consistent on both sides of the ball, while Miami's injuries continue to pile up. With Herbert distributing the ball efficiently and the Dolphins' defense struggling, I'm rolling with the Chargers to cover -5.5. Total, over 46.5. The total is 46.5, and both teams are capable of putting points on the board. The Chargers' passing game should thrive, and the Dolphins still have offensive weapons like Jalen Waddle who can make big plays. Moneyline, Chargers. With a healthier lineup and better offensive balance, Los Angeles should secure the win against an injury-depleted Dolphins squad. Player prop suggestions: Keenan Allen over 52.5 receiving yards. Allen has gone over this number in 5 of 6 games, averaging nearly 10 yards per catch and continuing to be Justin Herbert's most reliable target. Jalen Waddle, anytime touchdown. With Tyreek Hill out, Waddle becomes the top receiving option in Miami's offense. He scored in 3 of his last 4 games, and with increased volume, he's a great pick for anytime touchdown. New England Patriots vs. New Orleans Saints. Team comparison: the New England Patriots, 3-2, head to New Orleans to face the Saints, 1-4, at Caesars Superdome. The Patriots are coming in hot on a 2-game winning streak, just 1 win behind the Bills in the division. They've won and covered both road games this year, one at Highmark Stadium and another at Hard Rock. Their offense keeps improving every week, now ranking between the Broncos and Eagles in offensive DVOA, which is 9 spots higher than the Saints. Meanwhile, the Saints have played 3 home games, winning just once and covering only once. They have talent, but they're missing an elite quarterback, and with Drake May improving each week, he could be the difference maker once again. Spread: Patriots -3.5. The line sits at Patriots -3.5. New England has shown confidence on the road and continues to find ways to win tight games. With the Patriots playing more balanced football and the Saints struggling for consistency, total over 45.5. The total sits at 45.5, and with both teams capable of moving the ball, especially with New England's offense trending upward. Moneyline: Patriots -165. The Patriots are favored at -165, and based on their recent form and offensive growth, New England should take the win on the road in New Orleans. Player prop suggestions: Drake May over 232.5 passing yards. May has gone over this number in 3 of 5 games, and the Patriots continue to run their offense through his arm each week. Expect him to stay aggressive against the Saints defense that struggle to hold leads. Chris Olave, over 56.5 receiving yards. New England's defense has given up over 240 passing yards per game, ranking among the worst 6 teams in that category. That opens the door for Olave to go over 56.5 receiving yards in this matchup. Cleveland Browns vs. Pittsburgh Steelers, team comparison. The Browns are sitting at 1-4 and still trying to find rhythm on offense, while the Steelers are 3-1 and looking more balanced overall. Cleveland's defense has been their strength all season, but the offense continues to struggle. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, has been efficient behind Aaron Rodgers, though their defense still gives up points and depends heavily on the blitz. It's a tough AFC North matchup where defense and field position will matter most. Spread: Browns +5.5. Given the defensive strength of Cleveland and how tight AFC North games usually play out, I'm taking the points with the Browns to keep it close. Total: under 38.5. The total is 38.5, one of the lower lines of the week. With both defenses ranking high in pressure and both offenses inconsistent, this could easily turn into a defensive battle, but both have enough firepower to score late. Moneyline: Steelers. On the money line, the Steelers are favored at -270, while the Browns sit at +225. Cleveland's defense gives them a fighting chance, but Pittsburgh's balance and home field edge make them the safer pick to win outright. Player prop suggestions: Quinshon Judkins, over 76.5 rush yards. Judkins has hit this mark in 3 straight games, and with his volume and consistency, I'll take over 76.5 rushing yards once again. Jaylen Warren, over 3.5 receptions. Warren's been active in the passing game, grabbing 5 and 4 receptions in his last 2 outings. With Cleveland's defense bringing heavy pressure, expect short passes and checkdowns. Dallas Cowboys vs. Carolina Panthers. Team comparison. The Cowboys are sitting at 2-1 and continue to lean on their high-powered offense led by Dak Prescott. Dallas knows how to score and move the ball, and this week they'll face a Panthers defense that's been struggling to slow anyone down. Carolina is 2-3 and has shown flashes behind Bryce Young, but overall, this is a tough matchup for them. If Dallas stays focused and avoids looking ahead to next week's division game, they should control this one from start to finish. Spread: Cowboys -3.5. Prescott has too many weapons, and if CeeDee Lamb is back in the lineup, that offense becomes even more dangerous. Carolina just doesn't have the firepower to keep up once the Cowboys get rolling. Total: over 49.5. Both teams can move the ball when they find rhythm. Dallas averages over 6 yards per play, while Carolina's defense keeps giving up big gains. Moneyline: Cowboys. They've got more balance and experience, and if they stay sharp on the road, they should walk away with the win. Player prop suggestions: George Pickens, anytime touchdown. Pickens has scored in 4 straight games and continues to be a reliable red zone option. He's seeing steady targets, and with Dallas's offense moving the ball, there's a good shot he finds the end zone again. Bryce Young, under 213.5 passing yards. Bryce Young hasn't hit that number in his last 3 games. With Dallas bringing pressure and controlling the tempo, it's tough to see him going over here. Seattle Seahawks versus Jacksonville Jaguars. Team comparison: the Seahawks come into this one at 3-2, while the Jaguars are sitting at 4-1 after that huge emotional win over Kansas City. Seattle's been competitive all year under Sam Darnold. Both of their losses came by less than 5 points, while Jacksonville might be a little overvalued after their recent stretch. The Jaguars' record looks good, but when you look closely, most of their wins came against weaker opponents. Now they're short on prep time after Monday night, and they'll be without top corner Tyson Campbell, who was just traded away. This one feels like a great opportunity for Seattle to take advantage. Spread: Seahawks -1.5. With Jacksonville coming off a short week and defensive changes, I like Seattle to cover and possibly win outright. Total: under 47.5. Both teams have the ability to move the ball. Still, with travel, fatigue, and defensive adjustments on Jacksonville's side. Moneyline: Seahawks. On the money line, this is close to even, but I'm giving the edge to Seattle. They've been consistent, competitive, and this matchup feels like it lines up well for them against a Jaguars team that could be due for a letdown. Player prop suggestions: Sam Darnold, over 1.5 touchdowns. Darnold is coming off a monster performance where he threw 4 touchdowns against Tampa Bay. He's gaining rhythm with his receivers and should have chances to find the end zone again. Travis Hunter, under 3.5 receptions. Hunter's been consistent but hasn't hit 4 receptions in any of his last 4 games. With Seattle's secondary playing disciplined and limiting short passes. Los Angeles Rams versus Baltimore Ravens, team comparison: the Rams come into this matchup at 3-2, while the Ravens are struggling at 1-4 with their season hanging in the balance. Baltimore is dealing with poor weather and more offensive questions, especially with backup quarterback Cooper Rush getting another start. Meanwhile, the Rams have been one of the most efficient teams in the league, leading in yards per play and offensive success rate, and they've been putting up over 27 points per game in their last 4 outings. It's hard to see the Ravens keeping pace, even at home. Spread: Rams -7.5. With how balanced and explosive Los Angeles has looked, and Baltimore still trying to find rhythm offensively. Total: under 44.5. The total is 44.5, and with rain expected plus Baltimore's offensive issues. The Rams can score, but this game might slow down with the weather and the Ravens' limited passing attack. Moneyline: Rams. They're the stronger team on both sides of the ball, and this looks like another tough outing for Baltimore. Player prop suggestions: Puka Nacua, over 95.5 receiving yards. Nacua continues to dominate as the Rams' top wideout, topping 100 yards in 3 of 5 games this season. With Baltimore allowing one of the highest dropback success rates in the league, I'll take over 95.5 receiving yards for Nacua. Zay Flowers, over 50.5 receiving yards. Despite the Ravens' struggles, Flowers has been the lone bright spot in the offense. He's cleared this mark in 4 of 5 games and should once again be heavily targeted as Baltimore tries to keep up. Tennessee Titans versus Las Vegas Raiders, team comparison: both teams enter this matchup at 1-4, desperate to avoid slipping further. Tennessee is coming off an 18-point comeback win against Arizona, their first of the year, while Las Vegas has dropped 4 straight after opening the season with a win over New England. Neither team has found much rhythm offensively, but the Titans have shown a bit more composure and momentum heading into this one. The Raiders, meanwhile, continue to struggle behind Geno Smith, who has thrown multiple interceptions in recent outings. Spread: Titans plus 3.5. Both teams have been inconsistent, but with Tennessee showing fight and the Raiders in a 4-game skid. Total: under 40, 1.5. Expect a defensive, low-scoring matchup where turnovers could be the difference. Moneyline: Titans. If you're chasing value, the Titans plus 195 has some upside. They've shown they can rally, and the Raiders' offense continues to sputter in key moments. Player prop suggestions: Calvin Ridley, over 3.5 receptions. Ridley's coming off a breakout performance where he was targeted 10 times, catching 5 passes for 131 yards. He's clearly becoming a bigger part of Tennessee's passing game, and I'll take over 3.5 receptions here. Geno Smith, over 0.5 interceptions. Smith has thrown multiple picks in 2 of his last 3 games, struggling with decision-making under pressure. With Tennessee's defense showing signs of life, I'm taking over 0.5 interceptions for Geno in this one. Cincinnati Bengals versus Green Bay Packers team comparison. The Bengals turn to Joe Flacco for his first start of the season, and it comes against the Packers defense anchored by edge rusher Micah Parsons. Flacco's experience is the one advantage here. He's beaten Green Bay before, doing it with the Browns, but protection remains a major concern. Cincinnati ranks last in the NFL in pass block win rate, 47.5%, and Parsons will be lined up mostly against Orlando Brown Jr., whose 80.4% win rate ranks just 56th among tackles. Even with that mismatch, Flacco's veteran pocket awareness, only a 5.2% sack rate since 2021, gives Cincinnati some hope to keep this game competitive. Spread: Bengals plus 14.5. Flacco has the arm and composure to keep drives alive, and this feels like one of those matchups where the underdog can surprise, even if they don't pull off the outright upset. Total: over 44.5. Both teams have quarterbacks who can move the ball, and Green Bay's offense has been efficient at home. If Flacco settles in early, this one could quietly turn into a higher scoring battle than most expect. Moneyline: Packers. The Packers still have the edge at home. With Jordan Love leading a more stable offense and Flacco just entering the system, Green Bay should find a way to close it out late. Player prop suggestions: Joe Flacco over 210.5 passing yards. Even with limited time in this offense, Flacco's history shows he can still sling it. Given the likely pressure from Parsons forcing quick throws, I expect him to clear 210.5 yards through volume alone. Jordan Love, over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Love's been sharp lately, throwing 3 touchdowns against Dallas and at least 2 in 3 of his last 4 games. At home, with a clean pocket and rhythm, I'm taking over 1.5 passing TDs for him. San Francisco 49ers versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Team comparison: the San Francisco 49ers, 3-2, travel to Florida for a marquee NFC matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 4-1. The San Francisco 49ers are coming off a Thursday night win over the Rams and benefiting from a mini bye week, giving them time to recover key players and reset their offense. Even with Brock Purdy still sidelined, Mac Jones has stepped in impressively, leading the San Francisco 49ers to 3 straight victories, including a 342-yard, 2-touchdown performance against the Rams. Tampa Bay continues to be strong against the run, but weak against the pass, ranking near the bottom of the league in dropback success rate and EPA allowed. With multiple cornerbacks banged up, this matchup gives the San Francisco 49ers a real chance to attack through the air. Spread: San Francisco 49ers plus 3.5. Tampa Bay's defense has given up 93 points over the last 3 games, and the San Francisco 49ers are showing rhythm offensively, with Jones leading the way. With extra rest and a clear edge in offensive balance, the Niners should keep this game close and possibly win outright. Total: over 47. Both offenses have been moving the ball well, and with the Buccaneers defense giving up touchdowns on 9 of their last 10 red zone stands, expect scoring on both sides. The The San Francisco 49ers passing attack should find plenty of openings against Tampa's thin secondary. Moneyline, San Francisco 49ers. Head coach Kyle Shanahan has a proven record as a road underdog, 18-13 ATS since 2017, and has this team playing confident football despite the injuries. If the Niners can finish drives better in the red zone, this is a winnable road game. Player prop suggestions: Kendrick Bourne, anytime touchdown. Bourne has stepped up in recent weeks and has clear chemistry with Mac Jones going back to their time in New England. With the Buccaneers pass defense struggling, he's in a great spot to score. Baker Mayfield, over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Mayfield has thrown 2 or more touchdowns in 4 of his last 5 games and now faces a San Francisco 49ers defense that's vulnerable against deep passes. Detroit Lions versus Kansas City Chiefs. Team comparison. The Detroit Lions, 4-1, head into Arrowhead Stadium to take on the Kansas City Chiefs, 2-3, in a high-stakes Sunday Night Football matchup. The Chiefs might be listed as favorites, but at this point in the season, they're playing with an underdog mentality after a slow start. The Lions come in with confidence, but their secondary is heavily depleted, missing top corners Terrion Arnold and DJ Reed and possibly safeties Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. That's not ideal against Patrick Mahomes, who's been carrying the entire Kansas City offense while the running game continues to stall. With both teams capable of scoring and Detroit's secondary injuries piling up, this one sets up for a Mahomes-heavy shootout on Sunday night. Spread: Detroit Lions plus 2.5. The Lions have covered 22 of their last 32 games as an underdog under Dan Campbell, and they've been especially sharp when getting less than a field goal. Detroit's physicality and balance can make this one a lot closer than the line suggests. Total: over 50, 2.5. The total has climbed all week, now sitting at over 50, 2.5, and I agree with that move. The Chiefs are throwing more than ever, while the Lions have proven they can keep pace with top-tier offenses. Given Kansas City's reliance on Mahomes and Detroit's offensive consistency, this one feels primed for fireworks. Moneyline, Detroit Lions. Detroit's been one of the most balanced teams in football, physical in the trenches, explosive on offense, and confident on the road. Kansas City is tough at home, but with the Chiefs' ground game struggling and Detroit's defense forcing mistakes, this feels like a great spot for the Lions to steal one in Arrowhead. Player prop suggestions: Patrick Mahomes, over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Mahomes has thrown at least 2 touchdowns in 4 of his first 5 games and now faces a depleted Detroit secondary. With Kansas City's ground game struggling, expect a heavy dose of Mahomes' arm to lead the way. David Montgomery, anytime touchdown. Montgomery continues to be a reliable red zone option for the Lions, and Kansas City's run defense ranks near the bottom of the league. I'll catch you next time.